Toni, congratulations on being awarded the Equestrian Australia Lifetime Achievement for 2017. It has been a lifetime of commitment to dressage for you.
Well, not quite a lifetime, but it seems like it sometimes, but not quite a lifetime. I suppose it's been around about 27 years, and I feel a little bit humbled because there are a lot of other people that have put in a lot more time than what I have and have been doing it probably for 40 and 50 years. But so I'm really, I'd like to thank everybody that voted for me, and Equestrian New South Wales initially for that award, and now the national award. It's something I didn't think that would come to someone like me, so thank you.
Probably been too busy to give it too much thought. You never stop, you're so committed to the sport. Firstly, for a long time, 17 years, you held the role of Honorary Secretary of Dressage New South Wales.
Yes.
How did you enjoy that?
Good. I did like that role. It came at a time when I'd finished a paid job in the workforce, and I started off doing other things for dressage. Firstly, through my husband, Franz. He was the Treasurer for Dressage New South Wales, so I was still working at the time, and I started to get sponsorship and that sort of thing. Then when I finished work, he was still Treasurer then, and I did a little bit more like help with a few events. I did the Centerline magazine for nearly 20 years, and that was probably the first big sort of involvement. And then I got more involved with event organising, and then the honorary position came up in amongst that. And I liked it because I could see there were things that could be done that would make it a lot better for the membership. And I like to keep busy, and I like a bit of a challenge, so that's how it started, and it's just gone on from there.
Toni, for decades now you've been involved with the Sydney CDI, and in more recent years as event director.
Yes, well, I started around about 1989 when the event was run at Lochinvar. I got a little bit involved there through France, and started to help with sponsorship and that side of it. When it moved to Sydney, which was about 1994, we ran it at Moralia at Horseworld for 4 years in the lead up to Sydney. But again, I was more the secretary cum sponsorship person. And then just before the Olympics, that was probably the one that I sort of was solo. And even though I had support from France.
Toni, you've transformed this event into a remarkable success. That must be something you're very proud of.
Yes, yeah. I think we were the first. We've done a lot of things at this event that's actually been a first for Australia, and other events have sort of picked up on the idea. And I think a lot of people, even though I'm not blowing the trumpet, it's not just me, it's everybody that works. Some of the people that are part of this organising committee have been there, you know, for 10, 15 years, and we all work well together. We know our sort of strengths and our weaknesses, and you know, that's what I enjoy, is actually working with people and pulling it off, but also that each year you try and do something a little bit different, and create a bit of a benchmark really for other events. And I think because we've been successful with what we've done, it's actually helped other events because it's helped them lift the bar. And I don't mind sharing information with people and helping other organisers. And so for the sport, I think it's actually been a real sort of the ground, what can you call it?
Groundbreaking.
Yes, and it's sort of helped sort of project the sport. And not only dressage, I think some of the other events too.
What is it you love so much about equestrian sport, Toni?
I don't know really. I loved horses as a child. I didn't ride as a child, but I always loved them. And I got to ride the occasional. I was brought up in the country. I got to ride the occasional horse, but I was never a very confident rider. And it was only after probably in my 30s, Franz and I started having riding lessons, actually with Karen Tinney was one of our early instructors, at Terry Hills. We used to do trail rides, and then we got a bit more interested in horse, like dressage and the sport, and then we got a bit more serious in it. But then it led to more organisational roles, and then that does put a bit of a dampener on your riding because it's hard to do. You know, a lot of people will say that once you start getting really involved, your riding goes backwards. In my case, it probably wasn't a bad thing because I was never, you know, a great rider. So it didn't matter. I think I'm a better organiser than what I was a rider. But I do love horses and I like being around horses.
Toni, thanks for everything you've done and are doing for the sport.
Thank you. Thank you, Equestrian Australia, too, for the award.